Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bubble Talk with Burge. Have you missed me? I've missed you. I wasn't here last week. I am sorry. I apologize. I was doing other things I had to handle. But I'm here today. So I'm here to burge you. Are you ready to get burged and ready to speak your truth? So I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to talk about my Bubble Talk again? I wanted to share with you what happened to me recently with my Bubble Talk. And remember, Bubble Talk is the subconscious thought that keeps you from getting what you want. Those of you who have never seen this before, it's where you have a cartoon character and there's a bubble over your head, and that is your subconscious thought. And that is what is running the bus. Even though you say something consciously that you choose to have, it may not be aligned with your subconscious thought. Hi, Angie. Hi, honey. So we're all talking about communication in this module for our Conscious Leadership Academy here at Essence of Being. Those of you who do not know, go to essenceofbeing.com and check us out. It's essenceofbeing.com/CLA. So that's the conscious leadership, and we're talking about communication. So interestingly enough, of course, hi, Luana. We had this fabulous Celebrate You this past weekend with Luana Bradford, with a group of women. And so there was a lot of communication that we had with our body, mind, spirit. And because we are talking about the essence of effective communication during this module of our incredible Conscious Leadership Academy, I thought I'd share with you some of the things that I've learned so far again, and that we share in our communication class coming up in June. So what it is have you ever asked yourself, do I have foot and mouth disease? In other words, have you ever put your foot in your mouth and said, oh, oops, sorry, I shouldn't have said that? Or have you ever just kind of not said anything because you were afraid that you were going to hurt somebody's feelings, or you were afraid you might get reprimanded? Just like, hi Trudy, just like when you were little, maybe you were reprimanded for something that you did or didn't do. Or maybe even your boss reprimanded you later on in life for you speaking up and telling your truth. Okay, so what I want to share with you is some of the things that happened to me this week about different kinds of communication that could happen, and how do you tell your truth with compassion. Hey Vern, hey, Vern's coming. She's coming to Essence of Being. So what happens when you tell your truth with compassion and maybe the other person doesn't want to hear it, or maybe you are not used to even speaking up? Or maybe you're the one who steamrolls everybody else, okay? Maybe there's some insecurity within you of why you always have to just basically do it like I say, do what I do, not what I say, or do what I say, not what I do, right? Or it's my way or the highway. Maybe you're that kind of person. Or again, maybe you're the person that's afraid to speak up and tell your truth. So what I'm going to share with you is some things happened to me this week, but these are our Essence of Being cards, and I'm going to pull one, and I kind of stack the deck on this one because I really want to talk about tell the truth with compassion, okay? So telling your truth with compassion when things are being thrown at you, how do you respond? Do you respond? Or do you react? And so this says, for me, the truth is. That's what this says. Those are 5 magic words, by the way. For me, the truth is. The truth is a powerful way to communicate. Have compassion when speaking your truth. So if you find yourself getting involved in arguments or afraid to speak up and maybe share something that you are just feeling, like you might hurt their feelings, or you might get in trouble for it, because of course all of this comes from when we were little, all of these behaviors that we have. So if you feel like that happens frequently, you can say, for me the truth is, okay? For me the truth is blah, blah, blah. Because they can argue that. They may not agree with you, but they cannot argue that that's your truth. Okay, so you might want to start out your sentences and your conversation by, for me, the truth is. Now, I know I've talked about this ad nauseum about When you email or text, it's only 7% of communication, okay? So that's why I always say pick up the phone and get the tone, because tone is 38%. So even if you're just on the phone, you still don't get the total 100% communication, but you get more, okay? Hello, is it Shamna? Hello. So what's going to happen is when you pick up the phone and call and talk to people, at least they get your tone, all right? Because listen to the difference on this tone. Pass me the salt, or pass me the salt, honey. So you know the tone, you can feel it, right? Hi, Ike. So the point is, if you have tone and the written word, which is 7%, now you've got more, but now 55% is body language. So because you're seeing me live here on Facebook, and if you do Zoom or even better, in person, then you get the full 100% communication, okay? So again, if you have been bullied, maybe you are afraid to say, I'm here and I have a voice. So what I want you to do is I want you to say out loud, really out loud with me, ready? Say, I have a voice. Now it's your turn. I have a voice. And people around you are thinking, what are you talking about, right? Sometimes we do that, don't we? We're afraid to speak up because what are the people going to say? What are they going to say about us? So if you wake up every morning and just say, I have a voice. And remember, what you focus on expands. You see my t-shirt, right? What you focus on expands, which is absolutely the truth for me. And that's one of our monikers or our mantras that we use in Essence of Being. So speaking your truth is important. So let me just tell you, Luana says, hi, Burge, this is very timely. I was having this discussion with someone this morning. Yes. Yeah, emotional. Oh, EQ is a key. Yes, very much. So here's the point about communication, and we're going to be talking about at our communications class, Essence of Communication in June 22nd. It's a one day, but we're going to go through all the different ways of having effective communication. For instance, I got raged at this last week, okay? So someone raged at me and then they hung up the phone. They basically yelled and yelled and yelled and raged and went off. Didn't give me a chance to say a word. I think I said one sentence, and then they hung up on me. So what do you do with that? How do you respond to that or react to that? So one way, if someone is coming at you, okay, one way that you can respond as opposed to react, okay, and tell your truth, is certainly you can have empathy for that other person. So that's my first little nugget, is have empathy. Have empathy for what is that person going through. That's certainly, it's not about me. Because a lot of us do take that on, don't we? Hi, Vince. A lot of us take that on. We think, oh, it's about me. They're raging at me because it's my fault, or it's something I did, or we try to fix it for them, okay? So we might go into shame about it. Or we might go into blame and say, that son of a bitch, why do they do that? Blah, 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 right? We want to just fight back. And remember, those responses are our reptilian brain. We want to fight, or we want to run, or we want to freeze. Okay? We freeze and go hide, or we want to run and go hide, or we fight. So if someone rages at you or they're yelling at you for something, just understand that perhaps the next step for you might be empathy. Just put yourself in their shoes. What is it that's causing them perhaps to bring this up for you? And don't let it come in. Don't take it personal inside, okay? Don't take their rage inside. Many of us do. We try to fix that, okay? Hey, Kelly, from across the pond. We have a lot of UK and African people across. So I just want to say that happened to me. So I had a chance to, okay, what do I do with this? Do I call them back? Do I not call them back? So I choose not to call people back if they hang up on me like that, okay? So as a conscious leader, what you're showing and sharing people, telling them how to treat you, is that's not okay. That is not okay for you to do that, okay? So what you can do is wait, have empathy, understand why they did that. It wasn't about you, okay? And you can wait to see if they call back, to see if they're going to say anything about it. That's one option. Another option is you could tell them how you feel. For me, the truth is that hurt, and that was not, I did not deserve that, okay? Another thing that happened to me this past week, and again, it's really cool when I'm teaching about communication that all this stuff comes up for communication, right? Another thing that happened is I got an email from somebody that felt like they couldn't trust me anymore, that they couldn't trust my word, or what I said was not going to happen, and it saddened them, okay? So it's, for me, I'm all about integrity, contribution, and purpose, and I'm all about my word as my bond. And those of you who know me and have been with Essence of Being, that is the excellence that I really want to uphold. And so when somebody tells me that, in essence, my word is not my bond, it really, really hurts me. It hurts my feelings, because that is something that I'm uber careful, mindful about. Okay, so for me, I have a choice now. How am I going to respond, or how am I going to react? So my first reaction would be, wow, that was a total miscommunication, and it feels bad. Okay, so I want to go in and rescue myself and justify myself about, you've got it wrong. You clearly, you did not, there was a total miscommunication. So instead of reacting and saying, you have it wrong, I really didn't say that, what I could do is stop. Instead of justifying, again, have respect for myself and having respect for that other person, and being able to see their side of why it may have landed that way, or it may have landed on me a different way. So I can go back to them and say, I understand that's how you feel. And that was not my intention. And certainly it makes me feel sad too that we're having this miscommunication. So the point is, instead of running and hiding, or just not attempting to clean it up, as I say, clean up your communication, it can just wither off and die. These relationships die off, or God knows what they say or do or feel or think. And you have to let that go sometimes, right? You can't control what they feel or think or say, but you can control what you think, feel, and say, and take responsibility for your communication. Take responsibility and ownership of how you communicated it, and perhaps there's a lesson, because I've always learned that upsets are opportunities to tell the truth and to learn the truth. So any upset that you may have in your life, you can use that toward learning something, and it's an opportunity for you to tell the truth. Something else that happened to me in communication as well this week, it's all bubbling up for me to share with you, and also to give you perhaps some things you can do if it happens to you, if you're not able to come to the communications class June 22nd, okay? Is I had to share my truth with someone that's very, very close to me, and I was boo-hooing and crying, and feeling a lot of, I was very hurt, and I had to share why I was hurt. And luckily they are conscious, and so they reached out to talk to me about it, to see, to clean it up. Basically, they knew there was an energy field there. There was an energetic field that said there's something not right. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever, if you've had an argument, or you just feel disengaged or distant, or something's not right with another person energetically, and then they call you, right? Or you call them? It's pretty powerful. So here's the thing. Hi, Pam. So what happened for me is I got to tell my truth with compassion, and I didn't blame that other person for how I feel. And you do not want to make other people responsible for your feelings. So a lot of people try to do that. You hurt me, it's your fault. You're supposed to make me happy, right? And that's how we communicate. But of course, we learned that from very young. And our beliefs are handed down from generation to generation. And so I had the opportunity, as I'm sure you will too if you choose to, is tell your truth with compassion and not blame that other person, and not go into shame about why you feel the way you do or justify why you feel the way you do. Just take ownership and say, and responsibility, and say, I feel hurt. And it hurt when you said those things. And I misunderstood what you said. And I'm choosing to reach out to you so that I can feel better for me, whether you meant to or that was your intention or not. I need to take responsibility for my part in it, that I allowed you to hurt me. I allowed your words or your behavior to make me feel bad. Okay, so that's taking ownership. So again, going back to the principles, there's a lot of effective steps, right, and keys to effective communication. And you can go on my blog and look at it there too and see what parts of them are at essenceofbeing.com. But you can also, again, Essence of Communication is coming up. So if you want to learn more about that, check us out on essenceofbeing.com. But respect, empathy, responsibility, okay? Those are really key elements. And really having the courage. We as conscious leaders in the world, because we are building that global movement of conscious leaders, empowering others to create a win-win world. That's what our academy is all about, our Conscious Leadership Academy at Essence of Being. We have a duty to basically have the courage to stand up, tell our truth, show up, say what we feel, and do so with compassion. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage to do that. Because, like I said, maybe when we were young, it was not okay for us to tell our truth. And maybe it's not okay now, even when we're older. So I encourage all of you to look at your communication this week. Have empathy. Take responsibility for your part, okay? And respect yourself and respect the other person. And do not run, do not hide, do not fight, and don't freeze, because you have the right to your opinion. You have the right to use your voice. And you have a voice. Because you matter, and you're important, and you make a difference. So come join us in all of our playtime that we do with Essence of Being. And you have been Burged now with Bubble Talk with Burge.